Begin with that shooting that could forever change movie making in America. 500 rounds of ammunition were found on the set of Rust. 500 shortly after Alec Baldwin accidentally shot and killed a cinematographer and injured the director. That ammunition included both blanks and live rounds. So two questions remain tonight. Who is to blame, and how can the industry prevent a tragedy like this from ever happening again? I want to welcome in California State Senator Dave Cortese. He has just introduced legislation in his state that would ban ammunition and live firearms on movie sets. Senator, we appreciate your time. I think, first of all, I want to get your reaction to what we have learned from investigators in this case, that 500 rounds of ammunition found, both blanks and live bullets found on this set.
Yeah, I think everything that we've learned thus far has, sort of confirmed our worst fears. And, as recently as Friday, when I notified my staff that I wanted to proceed with legislation to make sure that in California there's laws in place to regulate this space, to regulate this issue of live ammunition and what I would call live firearms on movie sets and theatrical productions. That was partially on instinct and partially on my own experience, having grown up as a young person in a very rural environment, and knowing that any number of firearm safety rules, basic rules, were violated for this to happen. Somebody had their finger on the trigger when they shouldn't have. Somebody didn't check a gun when they should not have. Live ammunition was available in a place where it was not only not needed, but it was not appropriate. In that, what everyone calls prop guns here are really actual, real revolvers, firearms that shoot real bullets. They just happen to be using them as props. And all of that goes above and beyond what's appropriate or necessary on a theatrical set, a movie set, or frankly, even in a rural environment where a couple of people are out on a hunting trip. You just don't do those things.
Senator Cortese, walk us through your bill and what you're proposing. What are the highlights that you want to focus on?
Thank you. The bill is really focused on two very simple things. One of them is that there should not be live ammunition on movie sets or on the sets of any theatrical productions. It's not necessary in this day and age. From a technological standpoint, it's not necessary. As a practical matter, it's not necessary. So right now, there's no California law that governs that issue. You can search statutes in labor code and penal code and any code you want in the state of California, and it's silent as to the idea of whether or not it's okay to have live ammunition on these kind of sets. So we want to correct that, get a law in place. And the same thing as to what I'm calling a live gun. A live gun is a gun that has a trigger that's connected to a firing pin that can shoot a live round. That is absolutely unnecessary in this millennium. Probably should have been unnecessary even in early movie production days, but I think they just sort of passed along a tradition from the Wild West and use those rules of engagement on theaters in a theatrical atmosphere. That shouldn't have happened, and it's just something we need to correct now.
Are you concerned at all? There are a lot of movies, as we know, made in California, but that some production companies may take their work and the jobs elsewhere if a bill like this is passed and they still want to use real guns?
Yeah, we'll address that. For one thing, there will be strong worker retention language in this bill that will say, that's not okay to eliminate a job or to outsource a job because of the compliance with this bill. We'll protect our California workforce. Frankly, the whole bill is proposed to protect our California workforce in the first place. People who are on these sets, who are put into situations of high risk and certainly anxiety as people are brandishing firearms that could have live rounds in them at any given moment. But I really don't think, and we'll explore this more with employers and with the unions, I don't think people are going to outsource that one take, that one clip that has to have somebody holding a gun that's going off. I don't think they're going to outsource an entire production to make that clip happen. I think they'll go offset to a range where it's legal and it's regulated. They'll import a shot of a stuntman from some other place if that's what they need to do. But the idea that the industry is going to pack up and move because we're trying to make these sets safer for their employees, no, it's not a thought that I'm worried about long term, and we'll make sure that the bill addresses that.
All right. Well, we appreciate your time tonight, Senator Dave Cortese. We'll be following this very closely. This is an accident that could have been prevented. Let's hope that steps like this will do so in the future. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.